Hello guys, my name is Stephanie Arlene Estrancicla. I'm here to talk about nonverbal communication. Now let's get started. What is nonverbal communication? Well, nonverbal communication is when we express ourselves and how what we show instead of what we say. In different culture, there are different ways for showing how to communicate. For example, in Latin American country, if you look at someone and make an eye contact, it can indicate a disrespect or a form of rebellion. In Asian country, it's still normal to introduce a greeting by bowing down first. In different countries, they have their own ways to greet you and to say how they want to say by showing it instead of saying it. Now we got this guy named Albert Mehebrian. He studied at UCLC and he said that nonverbal communication that is through our behavior and how we could show our emotion through what we are doing for acts. The next slide, I'm not sure if you can see, is that we communicate with our face and ears. For example, Mona Lisa, she's very famous because of her eyes. Her eyes are very expressive. They have different emotions indicating in the painting. Not only that, geometry is when people study for the eyes. Mona Lisa is a perfect example that not by showing your eyes, it could express so many things. On to the next one. Let me just put it down more. Next one is the body language. The body language indicates and show what we're doing based on our movements, which could be kinesthetic, which they study based on the human body movements. For example, if I'm sad, I'm gonna have a frown face and I'm gonna be like this, crossing my arms. Or if I'm mad, I'll put my hands up like this and I'll have a big sigh, like indicating that I'm upset or mad or furious about something. So body movement can tell your emotion, who we are, but a lot of people judge us based on what we do instead of our intention. The majority we communicate through our eyes and face. 55% we do that. For 36% we communicate by our tone, by our action, and the 7% we communicate with our verbal words. Right now I'm going to tell you about the body function. Sorry, no. Right now I'm going to tell you about the nonverbal communication function versus repeating. Or repeating of what the other person is doing, like mimicking. The second one is contradict. When you're upset and someone came up to you saying, "Hi, are you upset?" And then you burst out with a tone of negativity like anger and you scream out, "No." The third one is substitute. When you're quiet but your attitude is saying something different. For example, if my parents scolded me or lectured me, obviously I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna be upset from the inside, but I'm not gonna show it until they ask me to do something or they ask me to repeat something to them. I'm gonna give them like an attitude. I'm gonna be angry. I'm gonna be mad. So I'm gonna give them with a tone of voice. The next one's gonna be accent. When a family member or someone you love said "I love you," you respond back with empathy, with feeling, with saying "I love you," but with meaningful. The last one would be regulate. When you already regulate your emotion and your facial expression, your eyes, when someone's speaking to you, for example, but you not paying attention because you simply are not interested in the topic, your face gonna show it, your eyes gonna look the other way, you're not gonna focus on the other person conversation, and the other person gonna tell that you're not interested in the conversation. And the last one, it will be how nonverbal communication can be used with artifacts, with jewelry, with sentiment, with items that bring value to how we treasure and how we communicate with it. For example, presents and gift on holidays. That's a great example on that. Also, an interesting fact, I know since I was growing up that I always express my emotion based on the colors, based on the color I'm wearing, or based on the color that I'm painting, or the color of the pens. Based on the colors, I could tell people my emotion with the color blue, indicate that I'm sad. The color green, I'm feeling vibrant. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling content. Color red, I feel angry. I feel furious. I feel with hatred. Color also is associated with nonverbal communication. Also, an interesting fact, did you know that in warmer climates, people are actually closer, like in proximity, because they are used to like the heat and the warm climate, but they're just so used to being close distance. While in colder climate, they're actually like more further. More they're more distant like this. Instead of warmer climate, they're less at distance. Anyways, thank you for listening to our presentation. Hopefully you like it. And until next time, bye.